I'm joined by Colin Shields, Belfast Giants number 19, after his history making to a certain extent as well for yourself. 401 games now for the Belfast Giants. Some career so far.
Thanks, Simon. Yeah, it's been long, but it doesn't. It's went pretty fast. It's one of those things that you kind of blink and miss it, and you don't really enjoy it. I think maybe until you kind of look back at the years and some of the things we've accomplished as a team, and definitely glad to be a part of the Giants' history, and hopefully there's a lot more games to come.
Our friend Davy McGimsey, who is the new stato at the Belfast Giants, has passed a few comments on to us. You have 401 games. You probably don't know this, but you have 401 games, 164 goals, 311 assists, 475 points, 2 fighting majors, you're an animal, and 181 minutes in penalties. I mean, you're so far ahead in the points now. Obviously, you took over from George Owada last season, and looking back, do you remember your first goal?
Yeah, I still remember my first game. We played at home against Coventry, and that was the year we won the league. Theo was on the team, and Ed Courtney was the coach. And I remember Coventry was one of those teams that we had a lot of close matches with, even though I think that year there were a few spots down the table. And we played them at home. And I remember my first goal. Ed Courtney passed it across, and I went in, and it was a good game. And I think I had 3 points that first game. And at the end of the game, Ed came over to me. He's like, said something along the lines like, "One game doesn't make a season, kid." And then that was it. And that was all he said to me after the game.
He didn't speak to the rest of the season.
Didn't speak to me until the awards night. But no, it was good to get off to a good start, I guess. And that season especially, we had a lot of great players, and I was fortunate enough to play with some good players. So.
Yeah, you touched on Theo Fleury, obviously. I was there that night watching the game, and 7 points and 2 fights, and it was just incredible. Like, what was it like? I mean, obviously, who's the best player you play? I know it's probably putting you under pressure because you're not allowed to pick any of this year's teammates because you'll probably get a bit of hassle with that. But who's the best player you play with in a Giants uniform?
Oh, I mean, there's so many. And over the years, the Giants had a lot of great players come through, and players with great resumes, and they've lived up to that. And a lot of great players have came from places maybe people don't expect them to be great players, and they've showed up. But we've named a few, obviously Theo and George Owada, and then Craig Peacock, the younger players came through over the years, and has done a great job consistently. I think I always liked playing with Suez. Was a great player. I thought he kind of brought a little bit of everything, and pretty much the whole time he was here, I played with him on the line and had some good chemistry and kind of set each other up quite a lot. So,
most memorable game?
Oh, it's hard to pick a memorable game. I guess the memorable one, I think, would be the playoff championship in 2010. For me, he didn't score or anything like that, but it was just such a tight game, and the atmosphere was so tense, and the crowd was great, and Cardiff was a tough opponent that year, and I think we were up maybe 2-0, and then they came back and tied it 2-2. And then it was just one of those shootouts where both goalies were playing unbelievable, and then Chevy getting that goal. Murph made a massive save on Beerbrier. I think it was just such a high for us because we came so close that year, winning the league and losing that by 1 point. To win the playoffs that year was just a nice way to cap off the season.
Just some of the things. I mean, looking through it, you just got winner written all over you. You really do. I mean, 2 league championships, 1 Challenge Cup, 1 Knockout Cup. You captained the Giants against the Bruins. You've won 3 most goals by the British player, 1 British player, best British forward, EIHL All-Star game scorer. There's so many things there, but there's obviously so much more to give from Colin Shields so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's a different time in my career. I think earlier on in my career, it was all about putting points on the board. And I think as you get older, you become more of a team player, because you always want to win, and you always want to do your best to try and help the team win. And I think back then it was maybe you were relied on to score goals all the time, or every night if you didn't get a point or didn't put a goal on the board, it was a disappointment. Whereas now I think we have such a deep team, and we have so many good players, and the league is changing a little bit. I still see myself as an offensive player and still trying to put points on the board, and I still want to set my teammates up for goals. But obviously at this point in my career, winning is the most important thing. And I think we have a great recipe this year, and a lot of great players. We have an opportunity to win a lot more championships, hopefully before I retire.
And you've obviously played on some great coaches as well. You've got Ed Courtney on there, you have Steve Thornton, you won championships with Steve, and Derek Walder's come in this season as well. We're 8 wins out of 12 games so far, and it's still only the start of the season. How's things going there?
Yeah, great. Derek, I think you can see him on the ice, unbelievable player. one of the best resumes for a defenseman, I think, ever to come to the league, and with the NHL experience in Switzerland as well. So, his on-ice play is just, it speaks for itself. As far as coaching goes, I think he's done a great job. It's new for him, and he's made everyone feel comfortable right off the bat and made sure that everyone knows the role and knows what's expected of them, not only coming into the season, but night in and night out. And, I think fans have probably saw by some of the interviews, if you make a mistake or if you do something that, it's going to hurt the team, he's going to make it known about you, and he's going to expect you to come back for that. And he's one of those guys that after the game's over, or after he speaks to you, or when the next game comes along, it's a fresh day, fresh start. And everyone here is mature players, and everyone's played a lot of pro games and a lot of experience. So they know their role, and the guys are excited, and I think it's going to be a great season.
What do you see that you're bringing to the team now than what it was? I mean, and there's been lots of changes in the league over the last 10 years, but what do you see you're bringing to the team now compared to 10 years ago?
When I came 10 years ago, I was on the young team, per se, and I think now just kind of want to bring a good attitude, hard work, kind of some leadership. We've got a lot of great leaders in the team. Guys have been captains on other teams before. Obviously, Kiefer's an unbelievable captain as well. So, but just try and bring leadership every day, bring a good work ethic to practice, try and lead by example. And then on the ice, as far as games goes, just try and bring good energy, create offensive plays, be solid defensively and good on the penalty kill, and block shots, things like that. Just try and be a good teammate, help out as much as possible wherever it's needed. And, like I said before, just trying to do the best thing to make the team win.
Obviously, you were at Maine, and you had 4 years, I think.
Yeah, I played 4 years at Maine.
And, we're probably a little bit of, you could probably class us as ignorant over here compared to North America. What can we expect from the NCAA, the 4 teams that are coming over at the end of November?
I think you're going to see a very exciting brand of hockey. I mean, at that age, most of the players are between the 18 to 23 range, and they're all, guys that are in top shape. They're looking to try and get to that next level, looking to try and make it to NHL, the American League. So they're all very hungry. They've got a big squad of players. So every guy on their team is fighting for a spot in the lineup each night. They're all going to be really strong. They're going to be flying around out there. It's going to be a lot of physical contact. It's just really exciting hockey. I mean, I remember looking back to then, and just guys are just, not that I'm not excited to play now, but guys are just really pumped up to play and really pumped up to try and prove that they're going to be the next prospect or going to try and get onto the next better league for the future of their career. So I think it's a great opportunity for Belfast to have these teams to come over here and be able to showcase their talent, and it's a great experience for those kids too. I mean, looking back, we got to go to some different places around North America with Maine, and went to Alaska and Florida and California, things like that. But some of those kids may never get a chance to, come to Belfast or come to Europe, depending where their hockey takes them. So I think anyone that gets a chance to go watch it, I think they'll be not only pleasantly surprised, but they're going to see some exciting hockey and good energy in the building.
Obviously, we're talking about the future here as well. You've opened a fantastic gym in Dundonald, Total Performance Fitness. You yourself, along with Greg Peacock and Lewis as well.
Lewis, yeah.
How's things going there?
Yeah, it's going well. I've always had a big interest in fitness and training, and probably going back about 8 or 10 years. Took a bigger interest when I was living in California in the summer, and kind of mentored under some trainers there, and just kind of learned the trade a little bit. And then once I moved over here, in the summers, I would kind of organize the off-ice workouts kind of unofficially for the guys that lived here. And then the last few years, took a bigger interest in it, and started doing it on the side part-time. And then last season, made the next jump and opened the facility. And it's been going well so far, and it's been well received. And train a wide range of athletes from 12, 13-year-old squash players to professional athletes.
42-year-old round people.
Yeah, professional people, business people, anyone. So anyone that's looking to get in shape or train for performance in the sport, we'll cater to them, and looking forward to just kind of building that over the next few years while I'm still playing, and then hopefully down the road after that.
Have you thought about after hockey, as in playing wise, have you thought about coaching, or have you thought about just literally, I mean, you probably touch on maybe carrying this type of business through to the performance of the players as well? Yeah,
I mean, this year is the first year actually where I've kind of been in charge of the strength and conditioning and the off-ice training for the team. So we're fortunate enough for the guys to come here and do all their off-ice workouts during the week, get their bodies prepared, do their strength training, and any other stuff we need to focus on. we can take care of that here in the gym, and it's nice. It's close to our practice rink, and the guys can come right over here after, do their stuff, and then the rest of the day is there. But I think, you know, I do have a passion for that, and kind of, you know, with a background in hockey and training for hockey, I think it translates nicely to other sports, and I think it's kind of leading the way that this is going to be the path that I'll take.
Colin, listen, I really appreciate your time. Wish you the best of luck with Total Performance Fitness, and obviously with the chance for the rest of the season.
Thanks, Simon. Appreciate that. Thanks.